Everyone thought that he was a lonely incel with no bitches and no future. But he ends up summoning the most powerful demon from the underworld to take over the world. Hibiki was just an ordinary high school student who was waiting for school to get over so that he can finally go to college and get some with his good looks. His friend, Daichai, on the other hand, knows that he is barely passing high school, and since his parents don't have enough money to make a big donation, there is no way in hell he is going to college. One Sunday, as Hibiki and Daichai are hanging out together, Daichai tells him about a new app called Dead Face that uses advanced AI and ChatGPT-5 to show how your face will look when you die. Hibiki is low-key grossed out by that idea, but Daichai clicks his picture, saying that the app will show how this dipshit will look when he kicks the bucket. The AI bunny girl in the app hops around, telling Hibiki that she will notify him when she has his dead face ready, and Daichai asks if he doesn't find this amusing. Hibiki says that it is amusing as well as scary, and they head back home. As they are waiting for the train in the subway station, Daichai catches a glimpse of Nida, their schoolmate who would just be a 5 if she didn't have a gravity-defying plot. Daichai has had the hots for this girl since a long time, but Hibiki says that she is not even his type because he believes that flat is justice. Just then, they both get a notification at the same time, and it is from the Dead Face app that has their videos ready. They eagerly open the video to see a train derailing right in front of them and then crushing them to death. Both of them are flabbergasted when they see the hyper-realistic video of each other dying, and the location is the exact place they are standing at right now. Just then, the train starts coming into view, and not willing to let his gut instinct go to waste, Hibiki suggests to Daichai that they leave the station right now. However, he was too late to pitch that idea because the ground suddenly starts shaking because of an earthquake, which causes the train to derail and fall on top of them. Well, that's the end of the anime. You can go now. Just kidding. Hibiki and Daichai are really dead though, but there is a way for them to return to life. The Dead Face app suddenly activates as they are about to pass to the afterlife, and the AI bunny girl asks them if they want another chance to live. Hibiki selects the option to live again, and the bunny girl downloads a demon summoning app in his phone before vanishing. As Hibiki opens his eyes, he finds the horrible train wreck around him. He can't believe that things changed so suddenly, and then Daichai also gets up. They try to call 911 to bail them out of this situation, but then suddenly, there is some motion in the rubble below. Hibiki thinks it is a survivor and immediately climbs down to help them, but it turns out to be something else. From the rubble, a demonic wolf comes out and starts dragging away a corpse to eat. Hibiki is stunned speechless, and that saves him from attracting the attention of the other wolves that are already feasting on the corpses. However, the girl named Nida is not so brave. She survived the train wreck, but now, as the demon passes her by, she lets out a high-pitched squeak that attracts its attention. The demon starts walking towards her, but then suddenly, her phone glows and an orc is summoned in front of her. The orc slays the demon wolf with just one hit, and no one can make any sense of this. Suddenly, a similar thing happens to Daichai, and a small ghost-type Pokemon comes out of his phone. It shoots icicles to freeze the wolves, giving the orc a chance to finish them. Hibiki stares at this scene dumbfounded, but then quickly moves ahead to rescue Nida. The orc has their back as they escape, and once they are in a safe place, Daichai and Nida check their smartphones and find the demon summoning app along with some information about the demons who came out to protect them just now. They all realize that the Dead Face app gave them a chance to revive and also downloaded the demon summoning app on their phone. They are all quite flustered by this, but since the demonic wolves are still lurking nearby, they decide to get out of the station first. Once they get outside, they are shocked to see that the entire city has been ravaged by the earthquake. Luckily, the communication channels are still active. As a news anchor is telling everyone about the earthquake that has left the city in shambles, Daichai gets a call from his mother. However, the signals cut off immediately, and he can't learn anything apart from the fact that his family is still safe. Just then, the rescue team comes there to take charge of the situation. But then a bunch of people dressed in long black coats come there and say that they have special authority to take control in a situation like this. While the rescue team and the black coats argue, Daichai tells Hibiki that their family should be safe, and they need to get to them quickly. Just then, Hibiki sees Nida calling her parents with a worried look on her face, but she can't reach them. The simp inside him awakens, and he says that they should go to her house to check on her family even though they live really far away. They keep walking all day long through the crowded streets. At night, as Hibiki and Nida are left alone, she begins saying that since they accepted the app's offer to continue living, they must have been possessed by demons. Hibiki doesn't believe that, and he thinks that someone is testing them. Soon, Daichai comes there with some juice, but just as they start drinking it, an ice cream-shaped object comes flying towards them. However, it is a demon that blows up its body to deal area damage, and Hibiki and his friends run away in time to get out of its range. Nida injures her leg and falls to the ground, and Daichai runs away while Hibiki stays back to help the girl up. Suddenly, the ice cream cone demon regenerates its upper half, and this time it starts shooting bullets to kill the rest of the people around it. Hibiki and Nida are in a pinch now, and he asks her to summon the demon from earlier because that is their only hope. Nida summons the orc just as the ice cream of death shoots them. The orc shields them from the bullets, but it can't do anything more. Just then, Hibiki gets a notification from the Dead Face app, which has another video for him. It is Daichai, who is dead in a burning truck, with half of his body outside the window. Hibiki wonders what does this mean, when suddenly, Daichai comes there to save them driving a truck. He rushes straight to the ice cream demon and rams the truck into it, hoping to send it to another world, but ends up causing a huge explosion. Hibiki is devastated by that, and that suddenly makes him summon his demon through the app. He summons a ferocious white tiger that dodges the attacks of the ice cream demon and goes close to attack it. The ice cream demon starts swelling up to explode again, and Hibiki tells the white tiger to get away from it. The tiger climbs up a building, dodging the bullets, and then jumps on the ice cream demon, slashing it with his claws and then shooting a powerful thunderbolt to obliterate it. Once that is done, the white tiger vanishes and Hibiki starts looking for Daichai in the burning mess. However, he is safe and sound as a fairy is carrying his heavy ass up in the air. Hibiki is relieved to see him, and so is Nida, who found that she had another demon in her app and used it to save Daichai. While they reunite, the black coats from earlier are spying on them. They believe that Hibiki has summoned a legendary demon, and their boss orders them to take the trio into custody immediately. Within seconds, the black coats surround Hibiki and his friends, introducing themselves as a member of a secret government organization called JIP, and tell them to quietly surrender. They are arrested and taken to the headquarters of JIP, and Hibiki wonders if the government knew that this disaster would occur. Why did they not take any preventive measures for it? The headquarters is located directly under the parliamentary building. A giant ancient clock is hanging in the center. Hibiki and his friends can't believe the mess they are in right now, and then the leader of JIP comes there to see the guy who summoned the legendary demon. Soon, Daichai and Nida are locked in a room together so that they can Netflix and chill and forget that Hibiki has been taken to the control room. Hibiki sees hundreds of people on computers, watching weird graphs and radars that make no sense at all to him. The woman who brought him here introduces herself as Commander Sako and then starts telling him about the organization called JIP. She says that their duty is to maintain the spiritual barriers around Japan to protect it from the attacks of supernatural races. Hibiki is horrified to hear this, and after everything he has seen today, he has no choice but to believe Sako. He says that he summoned a demon to fight for him, and just then, Chief Yamato comes there, telling him that he didn't summon an ordinary demon but Byako, one of the 4 mythic beasts from the Chinese folklore. Hibiki says that he didn't even want to summon a demon, and he still can't believe that it is possible. Sako and Yamato tell him that it is indeed possible, and there are many ways to summon demons. They used the scientific approach and created the demon summoning app for the same purpose, but they don't know how it ended up being distributed to the general public. Hibiki asks them if they knew that such a disaster would strike the city, and Yamato affirms, saying that they have been preparing for this for a long time. Hibiki asks why didn't they help people if they knew, and Yamato tells him that there are bigger things for them to worry about. He tells Hibiki that the cone demon he defeated today was just a small fry, and from now on, 6 stronger demons will come one after the other, and they must defeat them all in 6 days, or their world will be completely erased. They tell Hibiki that they need his help in fighting the demons and saving the world, and it is not like he has any choice in the matter. However, he tells them that unless they let his friends go, he won't cooperate with them. So the next day, Sako drives Daichai and Nida to their home while telling them about the deal Hibiki made to save them. Daichai is worried about him, but Hibiki says that he has the power to fight, so he will do what he must. They soon come to the place where Nida lives, but all they see is a haze of dust and smoke from the destroyed buildings. Nida is devastated, but Hibiki and Daichai suggest that they check a nearby emergency shelter to see if her family is there. Once they reach the crowded shelter, Nida starts looking for info on her parents, while Sako gives Hibiki and Daichai their smartphones back. She tells them to contact JIP using the speed dial if they run into trouble, and then leaves the center. Nida doesn't find any info on her parents and starts crying, so Hibiki decides to get some water for her. On his way back, he sees everyone hopeless, except for the kids who are having a better time than others. As he sees everyone pray to God, a skull-faced bird demon breaks into the rescue center. The people panic and run away on seeing the ugly demon. But Hibiki summons the white tiger Byako to fight it. He orders Byako to take the demon bird outside, and the tiger pounces on it immediately. Hibiki follows him outside too, but to his shock, there is a huge horde of demon birds there, and on top of that, they keep getting summoned from a malfunctioning phone of a dead person. While Byako keeps taking them down, Daichai comes to the window and asks Hibiki what the hell is going on. He tries summoning his demon to assist in the fight, but it is under repair and he can't do anything. Hibiki and Byako get overwhelmed by the huge number of demons, but then Sako arrives there to back them up. She summons a winged warrior who fights off the demons, and tells Hibiki that a smartphone must have gone berserk nearby to summon the demons. He asks her to deal with that while he handles the situation here, and Sako immediately begins looking around the area. She soon finds the broken phone that is spawning demons like my great-grandpa spawned kids and stomps on it. At the same time, Hibiki and Byako deal with the rest of the demons too, resolving the crisis. However, the people in the center are terrified of him now, but the boy he saved earlier thanks him, bringing him to tears. Soon after that, Hibiki and his friends return to JIP headquarters, telling Yamato that they are all going to fight the demons to protect the world. They ask Yamato what exactly should they do, and he decides to give them their first mission. He brings up the picture of Professor Fumi on the monitor behind him and says that she is the one who created the summoning app they use at JIP. But the one Hibiki and his friends have is different. He says that Fumi vanished around the same time as the demons started showing up, and since she is crucial for their operation, Hibiki and his team will join the search party to find her. They soon board a train to the city where Fumi was last seen, and Hibiki tells his friends that they didn't need to come with him. They tell him that they can't let him shoulder all the burden alone. Daichai keeps fiddling with the demon summoning app, and he wins an auction to buy another demon with a currency that he doesn't understand. While he is showing it to Nida, Hibiki promises that no matter what happens, he will keep them both safe, and they suddenly start feeling like being the founding members of his harem. Soon, the train arrives at their destination, and a few members of JIP are there to welcome them. There is also a girl named Hinako who came there just from shooting her OnlyFans video to receive Hibiki and ask him to collab with her sometime, and a quiet edgy boy named Keita. They are both new summoners too, but Keita is not playing around and he tells them to look for the missing nerd themselves because his job is to hunt demons. While the edgelord goes to hunt demons, Hinako takes Hibiki's team to Fumi's lab to show them around. After that, she takes them to the JIP headquarters of this city, and to their surprise, they are under attack by a mysterious enemy. The enemy hacks into the JIP system, breaking their magic barriers one by one while they stand helpless. Hibiki talks with the old bald man asking what is happening here, and he just tells him to go back and watch Skibidi Toilet because this job is not for kids. He then proceeds to tell him that their defenses are being attacked by a demon who is possibly receiving help from other parties, and they need to find them before the barrier is completely removed. Just then, Hinako gets a message from the Dead Face app, showing her a video of Keita lying dead near some stairs. She panics on seeing this, and Hibiki asks a woman to find the location in the image and check it for the attacker. The woman does as he says, and she finds that the attacker is indeed located near the region where Keita is going to die. Yamato was listening in to all this, and he immediately contacts the branch leader, telling him to send Hibiki and other summoners to stop the attacker at once. Hibiki asks Yamato if he knew this would happen when he sent him here, but he just tells him to get moving as they don't have any time. Before leaving for the location, Hibiki asks the woman to call Keita and tell him to not go to the public square because that way, he can avoid dying. She calls him, but just as Keita is about to pick up the call, someone attacks him from behind. Fortunately, he avoids the attack but drops his phone in the process. He finds that the one who attacked him is a bull demon, and then a horse demon also arrives there to attack him. Keita summons a demonic wolf warrior to fight against them, but the number of demons keep on increasing. One of the demons attacks him while he is distracted, and as Keita jumps away to avoid the attack, he finds himself falling right towards a sharp iron rod. Luckily, Hinako comes there in time, and her summoned succubus flies Keita away from danger. While the edgelord tells her that he didn't need her help, a demon attacks him from behind, but Hibiki's Byako takes it down. They regroup to share the information about the attacker, and Daichai says that his newly acquired demons will find him quickly. He summons the two Pokemon-looking demons, but they are utterly useless and run away just as they see the huge demons. Just then, Hibiki gets a call from Yamato, telling him that the other summoners they deployed to find the attacker are all dead, and his team is their only hope to catch him. Nida volunteers to find the attacker, and Hibiki asks Daichai to keep her safe. Meanwhile, the rest of them begin fighting against the demons, but their numbers don't decrease at all. Seeing them in trouble, Yamato decides to help them by activating a virus prototype that Fumi developed. As soon as the virus program is launched, the demons start glitching, giving Hibiki and others the chance to finish them quickly. Meanwhile, Nida and Daichai reach the location of the attacker, and Nida decides to summon her orc to capture her. However, the attacker has a summoned demon of her own, and it destroys the orc and then strangles Nida mid-air. Everyone is worried about her, and then the demon knight drops her to the ground. Keita commands his wolf demon to catch her, and then everyone gets a look at the attacker, who is none other than Fumi. Yamato believes that she must be brainwashed by the enemy and tells Hibiki to capture her. He immediately tells Bayako to defeat the demon knight, but he manages to block his lightning bolt. Next, Hinako tells her succubus to attack the demon knight with wind blades, but he blocks them too, and then Pikachus the crap out of her. Only Hibiki and Keita are left now, so Hibiki comes up with a plan to attack the demon knight together from both sides. He contacts Daichai and gives him a task too, before starting the attack. Bayako attacks the demon knight first, distracting it, and then Keita's demon attacks it from behind, defeating it. Once that is done, Daichai destroys the servers that Fumi was using and protects the barriers around the JIP center from being completely destroyed. However, before he can take Fumi with him, the demon knight appears again, telling the summoners that they need to be more careful about the follow-through of their actions. He defeats Keita's demon wolf quickly, and then launches a thunderbolt at the summoners. Keita somehow manages to push Hibiki out of danger, but he gets hit by the powerful thunderbolt. Meanwhile, the demon knight commands Fumi to do her final job for him. She immediately inputs a password that unleashes a virus to attack the JIP center, completely destroying all the barriers around the city. While the people at the headquarters are panicking because they have no way to protect the city now, Hibiki and his friends get up after the shocking defeat. Daichai has managed to get Fumi to safety, but Keita got his life Pikachu'd out of him. As Hinako cries over him, Hibiki is devastated because even though they managed to change the prediction made by the Dead Face app, they could not save Keita. However, there are bigger problems coming for him now, because without a barrier to protect it, a horde of demons attacks the city, led by one of the 6 demon bosses. The giant biblically accurate demon flies through the city where the military is already stationed to attack it. They fire at it with tanks, but the attacks don't even faze the giant demon, who releases weird fish-shaped discs to destroy the tanks with ease. Yamato watches everything, and he decides that the government can't do anything now, so it is up to them to stop the demon Merak. He immediately commands all the available summoners to place themselves in Merak's territory and stop it at all costs before it reaches another one of their headquarters and attacks it. On the other hand, Hibiki and his friends are still mourning Keita's death, and Hibiki feels that he should be blamed for that. Just then, members of JIP come there to take them away, because their help is needed in fighting the demons. While Hibiki is taken to join the main combat forces, Daichai is recruited into the rescue squad because his demons are not strong enough to fight. Hibiki stands on the rooftop with some JIP agents, while he listens to Yamato over the phone, telling him that he is their last line of defense. Hibiki says that Keita died to protect him, and Yamato says that it was a necessary sacrifice. He tells Hibiki to quit this instant if he is too rattled by his friend's death, because if he can't fight properly, he is useless to them. Hibiki says that he will fight and protect everyone, but that's really not going to happen, is it? The demon Merak keeps moving through the city unbothered, and when the mob of summoners attack him with their skullface birds, he wipes out the bird demons as well as their summoners with just one attack. Other units try to slow him down while some priests are working on setting up the barrier around the city once again, but Merak senses them and decides to eliminate them first. He charges an ice beam that freezes everything in its path, killing the priests as well as the people in the JIP headquarters. Hibiki is devastated by this, and he decides to join the fight. Sako tells him that it is foolish because they know very little about their enemy, but Hibiki says that if he doesn't join the fight, more people will die. He cuts the call and summons Bayako to rush to the battleground, and just as he leaves, Nida comes there looking for him. Meanwhile, Hinako is leading a squad to attack Merak, but the attacks from the winged demons also don't do any damage to it. Merak releases the flat flying fish to attack them, but just then, Bayako comes there and attacks the flying fish with his lightning. Hinako is shocked to see Hibiki here because he was supposed to be at the end of the defense line. But he tells her that he is going to use his power to fight alongside everyone. He commands Bayako to attack Mark, and the tiger launches a powerful thunderbolt at the giant demon. However, that doesn't do anything either, and makes things worse because Merc absorbs the electric energy and fires it at the summoners. Bayako decides to go in for some close combat attacks and manages to injure Merc, but then the giant demon hits him and he falls to the ground. As Hibiki goes to Bayako, the flying fish suddenly start targeting the two of them. Hinako rushes to protect him, and the other summoners also command their demons to act as shields to protect Bayako. The fish hit the demons, and after a series of huge explosions, Hibiki finds the battlefield scattered with dead bodies of the people who tried to save him. Even Hinako is fatally injured, and she kicks the bucket after calling Hibiki a dumb. He is completely devastated now and blames himself for the deaths of everyone here. Just then, he hears a voice telling him that he is lucky to have survived the attack. Hibiki turns around to see a white-haired boy, who introduces himself as Alker, Yamato's old friend. He tells him not to feel too bad for himself because it was not his fight and he was just dragged into it just like his friends. Alker tells Hibiki that he doesn't need to push him because the girl named Nida is there to pick up his slack. Hibiki asks him what the hell does he mean, and Alker says that Yamato gave her the chance to summon a very powerful demon to fight against Merak. Hibiki decides to leave to help her immediately, despite Alker trying to convince him that he doesn't need to do anything. On the other hand, the demon finally reaches the building where Nida and others are stationed. It is their last line of defense with the strongest demons deployed, and Nida thinks about how she has been the Sakura of this show this entire time, and now it is her time to help Hibiki. She summons a powerful alien goddess named Kikiri, who flies towards Merak, dodging the flurry of flying fish and attacking it with her psychic powers. However, that doesn't do much damage either, and Kikiri gets hit by the rain of energy blasts that Merak shoots out indiscriminately. Nida is worried about her summon, but then Merak gives everyone something to worry about. It sheds its sausage-like organs and opens its jaw wide to charge another ice beam. Everyone fears that this is going to be their end, but then something strikes Merak from the side, disbalancing it. It is Hibiki, who has come here with Bayako, determined to stop the demon at all costs. He unleashes his full power, and Bayako starts releasing red lightning as a result. He dashes towards Merak, piercing its body with great speed, damaging it further and causing it to shoot its ice beam towards the cloud. Next, Hibiki makes Bayako pierce Merak's body again, this time destroying its core and finally defeating it. As the demon starts turning to snow, everyone rejoices, including Hinako, because this didn't really die earlier. Everyone is happy and relieved, but then Merak's dying body starts to twitch. However, before it can do anything, someone else comes there and slashes it in half, before telling Hibiki to be on his guard till the enemy is completely destroyed. He asks the man who he is, and he says that he is also a member of JIP, but he doesn't trust Yamato and wants Hibiki to come with him instead. However, this man is too shady himself. He is Ronaldo, a former member of JIP, who went underground 2 years ago, and while everyone else was busy fighting Merak, he has captured another base of JIP with his rebel army and is planning to take Hibiki there. This information reaches Yamato, who immediately sends a SWAT team to the captured base to retake it. Daichai and Nida learned about this as well, and they snuck into the train by hiding in cardboard boxes. Daichai tells Nida that this idea of playing prop hunt in real life was too dangerous, but she believes that they need to find Hibiki soon, because the last time she saw him, his face looked dark like he was hiding a big secret. Just then, both of them get a notification from the Dead Face app that shows them a video of Hibiki dying while facing a strong demon. They are both worried, and since they can't contact Yamato or Sako, they decide to save their friend themselves. They begin searching for the base of the rebels, and soon find a huge crowd gathered in a spot. A man who looks straight out of a delinquent anime tells them to stop spacing around and gives them some water and food, cursing the government for not coming to their help even in this situation. He goes ahead to distribute the rations to others, but as Daichai and Nida see that they got rations branded with the JIP logo, they realize that the man is in the rebel army. The people of the city, on the other hand, seem to be happy with the way the rebels are treating them. Suddenly, a bunch of demons that look like living tumors come flying towards them, and everyone panics. The rebel members call their summoners to stop them, but Daichai feels like taking charge. He calls out his 2 Pokémons who are as useless and powerless as always. However, Nida has got him covered, and she summons Kukuri to quickly deal with the demons. The rebels surround them and tell them to surrender immediately, but then suddenly, more demons attack them. This time, they are blasted away by a flame attack from another powerful spirit. Daichai and Nida look in the distance and find that it is Hibiki who is commanding a firebird named Suzaku, which is another one of the 4 mythical Chinese beasts. Daichai and Nida are glad to see him, and they run towards Hibiki to talk to him about the dead face video, but he just kills the demons and goes on his way. Daichai is confused by what is happening, and then the rebels ask him how do they know Hibiki, who is their main damage dealer. Daichai says that they are Hibiki's friends, and then Nida asks the man to take them to Hibiki so that they can talk to him. Meanwhile, Hibiki meets up with Ronaldo, and they enter the JIP headquarters that is under their control. Ronaldo's men are supervising a JIP nurse as she treats some patients while telling them that they are terrorists. The men tell her to finish treating the man and then make them a sandwich. But just then, Ronaldo comes there and tells them to treat women with respect. He gives her confiscated phone back to her, saying that she can't contact JIP with it, but still summon her demon. The nurse asks him why is he doing this when humanity is in danger, and Ronaldo says that JIP is the one who is wrong because they knew about the demons but didn't do anything to help the civilians. He then tells everyone that according to Yamato, if they fail to kill all 7 demons, the world will be destroyed. Everyone is shocked because they never knew about this, and Ronaldo says that he knows more about Yamato than anyone here. He reveals that Yamato actually plans to defeat the 7 demons at all costs, and then establish his control over the world. He says that he was actually a government spy who joined JIP to find what exactly their purpose was, and the more he discovered, the darker things he learned. He found some secrets about Yamato's family, and Yamato tried to kill him for that, but he escaped. He tells Hibiki that Yamato has told everyone that they need to fight the demons to save the world, but he really doesn't care about anyone else but him. He tells Hibiki to recall how many people died because of Yamato's decision while fighting Marike, and then declares that he will never accept a world created by an unjust opportunist like him. After that, Ronaldo takes Hibiki to their control center, where an ugly middle-aged loser is managing the entire center by himself. There, Ronaldo tells Hibiki that according to his research, the next demon will arrive in this city, but they are prepared for that. He says that Hibiki has 2 powerful summons with him, and he has one that can fight on the same level as well. There is also Ronaldo's right-hand man and the nurse from JIP who are going to join the fight. Ronaldo declares that they will defeat the demon without sacrificing anyone and show the world that they are better than the government and JIP. The summoners gather at the base of the tower where the demon is supposed to arrive as per the logs of Yamato's family. The doctor asks if he is sure they can beat the demon boss, and Ronaldo affirms, saying that they have much stronger demons than the standard issue ones that people use at JIP. He thanks the person who developed the app and distributed it to people, but the doctor asks if he can really trust them. Ronaldo thinks that it was made by another party that does not agree with the way JIP and Yamato do things, and he would like to make that party into his allies. Soon, they return to the building, where the doctor asks Hibiki why he left JIP to join the rebels. She says that Yamato's way of doing things must be harsh, but he is thinking about the best outcome. But Hibiki doesn't believe that. He agrees with Ronaldo that Yamato acts like a dictator and treats people like their chess pieces. He doesn't fully trust Ronaldo either, but at least he is not willing to let anyone be sacrificed. Just then, a guy comes there, telling Hibiki that some people claiming to be his friends are here. Immediately after that, Daichai runs out of the door and hugs Hibiki, saying that he was really worried about him. Nida also comes there soon enough, and then they tell Hibiki that they got a video from the Dead Face app featuring him. They want him to leave this place immediately to prevent that future, but Hibiki refuses to since the demons are going to appear here. He says that he can change the future now that he knows about it. So Daichai and Nida decide to stick with him and help him in any way they can. However, Hibiki doesn't want them to stay with him because he has seen how dangerous it is for other people to try and protect him. He tells his friends that he doesn't need weaklings like them to protect him, and Daichai grabs his collar, telling him to take his power scaling and shove it up his hole. He says that he will help his best friend no matter what, and Nida agrees, saying that things will work out if all of them combine their strengths. Hibiki can't argue with them anymore, and he gives in to their suggestion. At the same time, 2 summoners from JIP infiltrate the base to take it back from the rebels. They summon 2 cousins of Puss in Boots and beat the lackeys there, but then Ronaldo and his right-hand man come there to stop them. Ronaldo asks them to delay this fight after they have talked with each other, and begins asking if they even know the reason they are fighting for at JIP. However, the redhead Loli is not interested in talking and commands her demon cat to attack. Ronaldo easily blocks her attack while his assistant keeps the tall emo dude busy. The video is displayed on all monitors in the control room, and Hibiki immediately begins speaking through the public announcement system, telling them to stop and talk it out. The lowly curses him, saying that she will talk after she has defeated the leader of the rebels, when suddenly, the ground starts shaking and she falls down. Fatty contacts Ronaldo, telling him that energy levels outside the city are rising, and it seems that the demon boss is going to manifest here sooner than expected. There is another bad news, because instead of appearing outside at the base of the tower, the demon appears right in front of Ronaldo. It is another biblically accurate creature which is basically a ring of colorful crystals. Ronaldo immediately commands everyone who is not selected to fight the boss to evacuate and summons all the fighters to his location. He tells the summoner duo from Jip to assist him too, and all of them start attacking the crystal demon from all sides, but none of them manage to injure it. Suddenly, the crystal demon stops rotating and extends two of its arms to prop itself for a powerful attack. Everyone hides in time as the demon begins charging up his energy, and then it shoots a devastating thunderbolt that disrupts the power line of the entire building. The fatty tells Ronaldo that he is switching to backup power, but if they lose it, they won't be able to maintain the barriers protecting the city and it will be destroyed. The demon begins charging another attack, but just then, Hibiki arrives there to save the day. He commands his fire peacock to attack the crystal demon continuously, and when it gets weaker, Nida joins him with Kikuri's help. Their combined attacks begin to crack the crystal demon's body, and Daichai just stands in a corner like a cheerleader. After that, the doctor summons Saraswati, who uses the power of music to drain the demon's energy. Everything seems to be going in their favor, but then the crystal demon splits itself in two parts and forms a cannon to attack Nida and others. Hibiki commands Suzaku to stop him, but despite the fire attacks, the crystal demon doesn't stop and shoots a condensed energy beam that penetrates both Suzaku and Kikuri. Daichai panics because he saw the same beam in the dead face video, but without worrying about consequences, Hibiki rushes ahead to fight the crystal demon. He summons Bayako to help him, but another hit from the crystal demon sends the tiger packing, and Hibiki loses his phone too. Now there is nothing to protect him from the crystal demon's next attack, but just then, a black lion arrives there and strikes the demon down, interrupting its attack. Hibiki is shocked and confused, but then he sees Yamato high above him. He commands his black lion Cerberus to attack the crystal demon with fire, but when that doesn't work, he rewrites its abilities and gives him sonic powers to damage the crystal demon. Ronaldo thinks that this is the power of Yamato's family, but he denies that, saying that it is just his power. The black lion destroys the crystal demon which vanishes, and just then, Professor Fumi appears on all the screens of the building. She has taken back control of the building while the rebels were busy dealing with the demons, and she tells Ronaldo that it is the same method he used. Hibiki doesn't really care about that part, but he wants to know how can Yamato be here when he was supposed to be in another city. Yamato says that they fixed the teleportation device that was injured during the demon attack earlier, and he came here to tell Hibiki to get his ass back at Jip. Hibiki says that if he could fight like this, he should have joined the battle earlier because that would save many lives. But Yamato replies that it is not his fault that the bunch of weaklings died early. He says that from this point on, the enemies will get stronger, and he needs his pawns to act just like he tells them so that they can succeed. Hibiki tells him that he can't treat people like pawns, but Yamato tells him to stop believing in the bullshit that all men are equal and free. Suddenly, Ronaldo also joins the conversation, asking Yamato to come clean and tell everyone that once all the demon bosses are defeated, he plans to rule the world and cast out everyone who is weak. Everyone is shocked to hear this, but Yamato doesn't really bother hiding the truth. He says that it is obvious that the strong should lead the weak. Ronaldo curses him and his family who have been waiting for the disaster so that they can rule the world, and then all his men come outside to attack Yamato. He is not even fazed by all the guns pointed at him, and calls them useless peasants who can't do anything. In response to that, Hibiki summons Bayako, telling Yamato that if he is going to hurt these people, he will stop him. However, before they can fight, the pale boy Alker appears there, saying that it is not nice for them to fight each other when they should be on the same side. He tells Hibiki a secret, revealing that Yamato came here just because he saw Hibiki's dead face video. While Yamato curses Alker for ratting him out like this, Hibiki is stunned because he can't understand what Yamato is thinking. Yamato begins acting like a hardcore tsundere, telling Hibiki to not think that he is a special person in his life. He makes it clear that he is a useful weapon who will play a big role in the upcoming fights and returns his lion to the app. Hibiki also retracts Bayako, and then Yamato begins bickering with Alker for coming here. Alker calls him childish and then turns to Hibiki, asking what is he going to do now. Hibiki is confused about which side to join, but he just wants his power to help people. Ronaldo tries convincing him to stay with them, but then a wall of fire appears in front of him with Alker telling him to stay where he is and let Hibiki make the decision. Alker's summoned demon comes out holding a candle in his hand, and he starts speaking, telling the foolish humans to stay back since it is not their time to act. Everyone is shocked to see a demon speaking, and the redhead lowly tries summoning her demon to fight back. However, her phone doesn't even work and the demon shoots a fire attack that she avoids thanks to her partner. Alker tells his demon to stand back because he doesn't want to kill anyone, and by this time, everyone has noticed that he is not using a phone to control the demon. They begin wondering who he is, and Hibiki asks him if he is a demon by any chance. Alker laughs off the question and says that he is just Alker, the anguished one, and he doesn't exactly know the details of his identity. He says that he doesn't want to be an enemy to humanity, but the rebels don't believe him. They summon their demons, and Ronaldo tells Alker to surrender. However, he just gave his demon the permission to attack first. The creepy demon immediately burns down the summoned demons, and Hibiki tells Ronaldo and his men to back off. He says he will fight against the overwhelming enemy himself, but Alker tells him it is not a smart idea because he was the one who gave the demon summoning app to them. Everyone is shocked to hear this, and Alker says that humanity is really weak and pathetic, and he wanted to give them a fair chance to survive the demon invasion. That is why he created the Dead Face app and hid the demon summoning app within it. He says that he was lucky to find another sparkling one in the form of Hibiki, and Yamato gets jealous on hearing that because Alker used to call him that in the past. He begins walking towards Hibiki, telling him to return to Jip, because tomorrow, 3 demon bosses are going to appear at the same time in 3 different locations. Alker affirms, saying that the enemies they face from now on will get stronger and trickier. Yamato then tells Hibiki that he will have an entire city to defend by himself tomorrow, and Alker says that he should have started off the convo with that. Once again, everyone looks at Hibiki to make a decision, and he decides to work with Yamato to save the world. He then says that once they have defeated the demons, he will make sure that Yamato doesn't try to force his ideals onto the world. Yamato is cool with that, and he tells Hibiki that he needs to survive to make that happen. He then turns to Ronaldo and tells him to handle the situation in this city. While Ronaldo is initially pissed, he agrees to listen to Yamato just this once, but promises that he will never let him reshape the future with his twisted ideals. Yamato walks away with that, and Hibiki is left pondering about the situation. Suddenly, the 2 other summoners come to talk to him because they were just recruited and have started respecting Hibiki as their senior. After he is done talking with them, Hibiki keeps thinking about things, and soon, night comes. Before they get to fight the next day, everyone undergoes a mandatory full health checkup, and the doctor and Nida make small talk while she examines her. The doctor slowly starts asking more personal questions to Nida, ultimately saying that she did the right thing by coming here to help the boy she likes, and Nida turns red. Outside the room, Daichai is waiting for Nida to come out so that he can talk to her, but Ronaldo's right-hand man finds him there. He knows exactly what is going on, and he tries to play Cupid for Daichai, but just then, Hibiki also arrives there. As the 3 men stand in front of the door, Nida comes out, and thinking that Hibiki is here to spy on her, she turns red again. Daichai tries to solve the situation by putting all the blame on the guy, but he has already vanished from there. Nida thinks that both of her friends are perverts and slaps them, but that is the end of this scandal. Soon, everyone is geared for battle, and the Jip headquarters finds that the 3 demons are in the sea right now. Sako has the command of the operation, and she decides to evacuate the civilians even though it is not a part of their plans. She then contacts Ronaldo, and they both already know each other from the past. Sako tells him that his group has enough firepower, and he must make sure to protect his city. After that, she teleports away Hibiki and his friends to the second city so that they can protect it. And as for the last city, Yamato is there alone because he doesn't want any help. Hibiki and his friends reach their city soon, and Hanako is there to welcome them. Hibiki falls to his knees as he sees that she is alive, and she hugs him, telling him that he doesn't have to feel guilty for anyone's death. However, there is not much time for reunions as the demons are going to pop up any moment now, and they get ready for a fight. As they wait for the giant demons to come from the city, Hibiki asks Daichai to leave because he is not much of a fighter. Daichai gets offended by this and says he will find a strong demon to summon, but Hanako tries to steal his phone from him, and they start to bicker. Meanwhile, Hibiki remembers that Ronaldo gave him a pen drive with all the information about Yamato and his family's shady business on it, so that Hibiki can make the correct decision about the future of their planet. He is determined to stop Yamato if he is wrong, but before that, he needs to stop the giant demon. Hibiki and Nida start attacking at first, and Daichi decides to help them by summoning a new demon. He calls out Kermit's sister, but she takes one look at who she is supposed to fight and dips. Hinako tells Daichi to stand back and then summons the berserker demon that was once bound to her old partner, Keita. Using the berserk demon, she launches a barrage of destructive punches on the demon, blowing away its protective layering and exposing its core. Hibiki summons Byako to pierce it, and the demon suddenly vanishes. They rejoice in their victory, but then suddenly, the giant spike ball demon appears in front of them again. It shoots out one of the spikes, and Hibiki's group runs away to avoid it. On the other hand, Yamato has unleashed his true power and summoned two legendary demons to help him fight against the demon. He contacts Ronaldo and Hibiki, telling them to keep attacking the demons and expose their core, but wait for his signal to finish them off, because only by defeating all three bodies at the same time can they defeat the demon. The spike ball demon keeps rolling through the city, destroying everything in its path, when Hibiki suddenly gets a dead-face clip for Ronaldo and his group. He immediately calls Ronaldo to warn him about it and asks him to get out of the danger zone, but he replies that he will stay back and fight. His friends agree, saying that they are the only ones who can save this city, and they will try their best not to die. The spikeball demon in their city keeps destroying everything in its path too, and then it destroys a building that had a special importance in the life of the redhead Loli. She gets so enraged that she summons a powerful spirit, who uses the power of music to stab the demon and expose its core. At the same time, Hibiki and Yamato also expose the core of their enemies, and then all three groups attack in sync, destroying the three demon bodies at the same time. Everyone celebrates their victory as they sense the demon's signal completely vanishing, but their happiness is short-lived. The demon in Ronaldo's location uses the martyrdom perk and attacks the humans with its explosive spikes as it is dying. The redhead Loli and her partner somehow survive it, but Ronaldo and his group are lost under the rubble. Everyone is devastated by their death, but Yamato doesn't care about that because they succeeded in defeating their enemy. Later that day, as Hibiki is watching the sunset, he wonders who are the demons that are attacking them and for what reason. He hopes this is a dream and he wakes up soon, but then Alker appears next to him and says that this is reality. Hibiki gets angry at him and calls him a demon, but Alker tells him that he is not a demon. Hibiki asks why doesn't he help humans then, and he replies that this is the trial for humanity, and they have to overcome it with their own strength. Hibiki angrily asks him who the hell has the authority to test humans like this, and Alker tells him that it is Polaris, the almighty administrator of order. He explains that some people may call Polaris a god, but it is just an entity that makes sure that the natural order of things remains undisturbed. Alker says that Polaris has decided that humans are disturbing the balance of nature with their actions, and that is why they must prove their worth by fighting against the enemies, who are not demons but the tools of Polaris to do its duty. Hibiki is shocked by this and asks Alker how he knows so much. Alker tells him that he is the sword of Polaris, and his task was to observe the earth and humans. Hibiki is dumbfounded to hear this, and Alker says that he was supposed to be a mindless weapon, but he somehow gained consciousness, and now he doesn't agree that humans must be wiped out. He doesn't understand how that happened and believes that it shows that Polaris is not almighty. He wanted to help humans, but he couldn't go against Polaris, so he created the demon summoning app to help humans to show their willpower to survive. Hibiki asks if Yamato knows of this, and Alker affirms, saying that he knows that if they don't do anything, humanity and Earth will return to the void. Suddenly, Hibiki sees things vanishing in the distance, and Alker tells him that they are returning to the void, or, in other terms, getting erased out of existence permanently. As the sky vanishes, Alker suddenly starts to shudder, saying that he has watched over humanity for a long time, and he doesn't want them to vanish now. The next morning, as Hibiki wakes up, he is shocked to find Alker in his room. He asks him what the hell he is doing here, and Alker replies that he didn't have any other place to go, so he came here to watch over him. Hibiki lets him stay and brews him some coffee while they talk about the state of the world and the future that awaits humanity if it passes the trials. Alker begins talking about how he often has an existential crisis when he thinks that he is going to help destroy humans whom he likes, and Hibiki starts sympathizing with him. He trusts that Alker is not their enemy and allows him to stay in his room, but on the condition that no one finds him, because if anyone finds he is hiding a demon, it can create big problems. However, Daichai and Nida barge into his room just then, and they are shocked to see the pale boy there. Daichai gets a bit violent with him, but Hibiki calms him down. After that, Alker tells them that he is not a human, but one of the demons that are going to try and push humans to extinction. Daichai and Nida are astonished to learn this, but Hibiki acts as Alker's lawyer and convinces them that he is not an enemy. Both of them are really cautious of Alker, but he is just trying to figure out how to hide his true identity from humans. The next day, Sako calls Hinako and the redhead Lowly to the control room, telling them that they are going to be important for the fight against the next demon. Sako says that during the last fight, they analyzed all the summoners and found that their spiritual energy can be synchronized to summon rather special demons. Soon, everyone gathers around in the control room, and Hibiki asks Sako why he is not being sent to fight this time. Sako tells him that the demon they are facing in this round will appear high up in the sky, and normal summoners won't even be able to reach it. A few minutes later, the demon appears 50 kilometers above the surface of the earth. But Yamato's plan already accounts for this. He chose Hinako and the Lowly because of their unique abilities. While Hinako is from a family of priests that will help her to summon a deity named Shiva, the Lowly is going to summon a perverted PDF file demon from Epstein Island. They get into their position and summon their demons, and the floating cancer cell demons immediately bind the PDF file demon and drag him right between the giant demon in the sky and Shiva, who hates PDF files and immediately charges up his trident. He yeets it towards the perverted demon, destroying it and also the giant demon in the sky with the same attack. The demon's core is destroyed by the powerful attack, and everyone thinks that this was the easiest of the trials. However, the twist is revealed just a few seconds later, because instead of disappearing, the body of the demon starts falling down to the ground. It is easily the size of the city, and Yamato only evacuates the summoners and other people associated with Jip, leaving the civilians to be crushed by the massive shell of the demon. Hibiki is horrified when he realizes that he knew this would happen from the beginning and turns to confront Yamato, who tells him that this was the most efficient way to win this battle. Later, Hibiki checks the data given to him by Ronaldo, and he finds that Yamato's family knew about the 7-day trial from the very beginning. They worked with the government to hide it from the world so that when the time comes, they will not only survive but also become the leaders of the remaining people. He finds more shocking information about the trials, and then it is time for a dinner that Yamato has thrown for everyone who survived this far. No one is really in the mood to eat with this narcissistic dipshit, but Yamato tells them that he has called them here to tell them what happens after they survive the remaining 2 days of the trial. He explains that once they defeat all the demons, they can finally meet Pilatus, the administrator of natural order. This is brand new information for everyone except Hibiki, who tells them what he learned from the report Ronaldo left behind. He says that Yamato's family has been planning for the trial for centuries so that when they survive, they meet Polaris and convince it to reshape the world like they want. Everyone is shocked by this, and Hibiki yells at Yamato as he tells him to admit that this is the truth. Yamato says that it is indeed the truth, but he is not doing all this for his family's mission, but because of his own. He says that the world fell into ruin because the incompetent losers had all the power. But in the world he will create, only the talented people will be able to rise up in the world and make it a better place. He tells everyone that if they follow his orders, they will survive and come to meet Polaris with him. With that, he starts walking away, and Hibiki follows him into the lift, telling him that he may be thinking about the betterment of humanity, but his way is completely wrong. Yamato just scoffs at him and tells him that if he wants to stop him from creating the world of his ideals, he should survive till the end and stop him. Meanwhile, Nida goes to her room and starts crying because she just wants to go home now. But then Sako comes to tell her that for tomorrow's mission, she is going to sacrifice herself for the sake of her friends. She explains that she is the only one compatible with the demon they need to use tomorrow, and her chances of survival are 0. Even though Nida wants to back out and run away, she agrees to sacrifice herself. But just as Sako leaves her room, she breaks down. The next morning, she goes to Hibiki's room along with Daichai again, and Alker has prepared a hearty breakfast for them. They are uncertain about it, but Nida takes the first bite and finds that it is really nice. As Nida starts eating more cheerfully than before, Hibiki thinks she is coping with stress by eating and assures her that if they survive 2 more days, everything will be back to normal. However, Alker senses what is going on, and he doesn't seem pleased to know that Nida is going to die. Soon, the alarm for the demon sighting blares, and everyone rushes to the control room to see what is happening. Hibiki and Daichi notice that Nida is not with them, and then Yamato arrives there, saying that she is the most important part of his plan today. He explains that the demon they are facing today can create endless shadow clones of itself, but there is a way to stop that. He then shows the visual of Nida tied to a special summoning device, and the scientist Fumi is with her to summon the powerful demon to possess her body and help them. She tells Nida that the demon that will possess her body is so strong that it is almost guaranteed that she is going to die. But Nida is calm because her sacrifice will save everyone. As Hibiki learns about this, he panics and says there must be another way that doesn't involve killing Nida. He turns to Yamato, telling him that he will go to fight in her place, but he says that they cannot keep fighting against an enemy that keeps on multiplying. He gives the command to start summoning the demon named Lug, and Fumi's team begins the procedure. A massive amount of energy is channeled into Nida's body, and then suddenly, all her friends get a notification about her dead face. Everyone freaks out on seeing that, and Hibiki rushes to Sako and begs her to stop. She tells him that there is no coming back from this point, because the demon Lug has already appeared. The demon possesses Nida's body, giving her unbearable pain that begins tearing her mind and body apart. Yamato was counting on that, and he uses a special device to establish a connection between himself and Nida's body so he can directly give orders to Lug. He makes the demon summon a giant dragon that eats the ever-replicating dragon like Pac-Man. The growth rate of the demon cannot match the hunger of the dragon, and soon it is fully devoured. The demon's signal vanishes with that, but Nida has reached her limit. Hibiki tries searching for her in the city, but when he finds her, she has completely lost her consciousness, and now the demon Lug controls her. The demon attacks Hibiki, who can't understand anything until Yamato tells him to kill the demon and finish the job. Hibiki has a breakdown on the spot, and then Yamato decides to talk to Lug himself, who is angry at his family for binding a god like him and treating him as a tool. Yamato just scoffs at him, saying that soon, the remaining humans will have no need for gods, and tells Lug that he should just sit down obediently because Nida's body won't last even 10 minutes with him inside it. Lug is low-key smug about that, and he tells Yamato that 10 minutes is more than enough for him to teach the puny humans a lesson. He begins flying towards the JIP headquarters, and while Yamato gives Hibiki the orders to stop Lug, Daichi comes to his place and asks how dare he force Nida to do something so horrifying. Yamato says that he did what needed to be done, and Daichi throws hands at him, only to get choked and spat upon. Just then, Lug arrives outside the building, and all the fodder summoners are no match for his destructive power. After dealing with the lowly mob, he shoots a powerful attack at the building, but Hibiki arrives there just in time and uses his Firebird Suzaku to block it. He tells Lug to return Nida to him, but he replies that Nida's soul has already been lost to the void, and soon, her body will be destroyed as well. He then declares that humans will have to pay for treating a god like a tool and throws another powerful attack at Hibiki, who hesitates too long and gets thrown down the wall. Luckily, Yamato came there to save him on time, and he summons his second demon named Ball to kill Lug. Hibiki tells Yamato that he won't let anyone harm Nida, even if she is not really with them now, and he commands Bayako and Suzaku to attack Ball and defeat it instead of Lug. Yamato grabs Hibiki's collar in rage, but then Lug sees that Nida's body is glitching, which means it can't last any longer. He decides to at least kill Yamato before going and throws a powerful spear of light at him, but Hibiki pushes him aside and takes the blow himself instead. However, to everyone's surprise, Hibiki blocks the attack because, in the time of need, the blue dragon, another mythic creature from Chinese folklore, made a contract with him. Yamato and Alker are the most impressed by this, and Yamato tells Hibiki that he is on the same level as him, and they are the ones who should lead the world together. However, Hibiki just pushes him aside, saying that he is going to use his power to save everyone. He begins flying towards Lug, calling out Nida's name, hoping that she is still somewhere in there. His words reach Nida, and as she tries taking control of her body, Lug panics and attacks Hibiki with his full power. The next moment, Hibiki finds himself talking to Nida's soul, who cries and says that she is tired of all this fighting because she is not strong enough to do that. Hibiki tells her that it is okay to be weak because they can always rely on others for help. Nida says that he won't understand how she feels because he is strong, and in response, Hibiki just says that he doesn't want to lose her. His words suddenly bring back Nida's will to life, and as she holds his hand, Lug's spirit is expelled from her body. As they hug, Lug is shattered to pieces, But then suddenly, Hibiki coughs blood and loses consciousness. They begin to free fall, but Yamato protects them using his magic. He contacts the control room to get Hibiki to the emergency room immediately, because they need him to be in the best shape for tomorrow's fight. Soon, Hibiki is admitted to IQ, and his friends watch him with worry, but they know they can't help him right now and decide to rest. On the other hand, Alker is feeling lonely in the room after learning about Hibiki's injuries when two other powerful demons arrive there. The man who had brainwashed Fumi in the past asks Alker what the hell is he doing here when he should be observing the destruction of humans from far away. Alker says that he has grown to like humans, and the demon knight mocks him, calling him a broken simp. This makes Alker furious, and he crushes the knight into nothingness, and then turns to the other demon with the candles. The demon is pissing his pants and tells Alker that he will obey him, and then vanishes. On the other hand, Daichi, Nida, and Hinako start becoming friends with the lowly Eri and her partner Yongo. As they exchange contact details with each other, their phones start ringing with notifications from the Dead Face app. It shows clips of everyone dying, and before they can even process it, the alarms start to ring as the final enemy appears. Everyone reaches the control room to see that the world around them is shrinking rapidly because the final demon boss is here, and it has the powers of all the former demons combined. Yamato tells everyone to fight with everything they have got because if they don't, the world will be destroyed. Meanwhile, the final demon boss is shaped like a spinning top, and it goes city to city, giving Japan flashbacks of the Second World War. It reaches the parliamentary building too and blows it up with a single attack. But the JIP headquarters that was underground remains safe thanks to Yamato's barrier. All the summoners climb on a magic platform to reach closer to the demon boss to fight it. They summon their demons, and Nida is able to summon Lug normally and use his power to injure the demon. They seem to be succeeding, but then suddenly, the demon sends a slice of its body up in the air and releases a disturbing frequency that disrupts the demon summoning apps on everyone's phone. Their demons are forcibly returned to the phones, but luckily, Fumi had predicted this. She is watching everything from a distance and decides to give the demon a taste of its own medicine. She summons her demon trumpet that releases a frequency to seal the demon's power, but it notices her and instantly takes down her trumpet with a laser beam. Fumi realizes that she has nowhere to run now, and she calmly accepts her death as the demon's laser beam blasts her into the void. Sako gets enraged on losing her friend and tries attacking the demon boss, but she finds that her demon is still recovering in the app. Everyone else is facing the same problem, and then the demon boss decides to attack them. Yamato blocks its attack and then decides to face it in close combat to distract it. He swiftly dodges the demon's laser beam, but then the demon splits into various parts to hunt down everyone at the same time. Everyone makes a run for it, but the demon shoots the exploding ice cream cones down at them. Eri and her partner get trapped in a field of the explosive cones, and they are the first to die. After that, it is Hinako's turn, who is trapped in a similar situation, and she tells Daichi and Nida to not worry about her and run to safety. As she is engulfed in flames, Sako, Daichi, and Nida run away, but then they get cornered by the exploding cones too. Suddenly, Hibiki's Firebird comes there and shields them from an explosion, and then his white tiger attacks the demon's fragment. He comes there running to check up on his friends and asks, "Where are Hinako and others?" Nida tells him that they are dead, and Hibiki loses his shit. He goes feral and constantly attacks the demon with his white tiger, but it gets shot down quickly. Hibiki is still not done, and he summons the blue dragon's power to keep attacking the demon while Yamato holds it down. While fighting the demon, they get into a philosophical debate about Yamato's plan to reform the world according to his ideals. Hibiki tells him that it will be worthless if he needs help from a god to change the world because humans should do it by themselves. Yamato calls him a delusional idiot because if humans could change the world for the better, they would have already done that. Suddenly, the demon gets bored of their bickering and shoots a powerful attack at them. Hibiki and Yamato combine their powers to block it, but they soon start getting pressed down. Daichi and others just watch in desperation because they can't do anything. Daichi gets even more desperate because all his summoned demons are weak, and he could never help Hibiki while he was shouldering everything alone. Just as the barrier cast by Hibiki and Daichi is about to break, Daichi's strong emotions awaken his potential and make him summon a giant fairy demon that is even stronger than Yamato's demon. The giant fairy punches the demon boss down and then uses ice magic to impale it on giant icicles. The demon splits into various parts and shoots a laser beam at the giant fairy, who eats it up like a chad and then punches it again. The demon splits into even more parts and tries shooting the explosive cones, but Hibiki uses the blue dragon's power to cut a hole in it. All of the demon's parts are exposed now, and Yamato uses this chance to eliminate them together with a precise sonic attack. As the demon's core shatters, it completely vanishes from Earth. Yamato says that he will soon meet Pilatus and make his dream come true, but Hibiki tells him that he won't let him go. Yamato says that Hibiki will have to kill him if he wants to stop him, and if he can't do that, he will be the one dying instead. Suddenly, Alker arrives there, and he tells Yamato that he won't let anyone kill Hibiki. Yamato tells Alker that they have completed the trials, and he should have no reason to come here now. Alker affirms, saying that he is not here for the trial set up by Pilatus, but because of his own free will. He tells Yamato that he will fight and kill him so that Hibiki is the one who represents humanity before Pilatus. Yamato takes up the challenge, and Alker immediately attacks him with iron tentacles. Yamato can only block his attacks and lure him closer to the tower so that his power increases because his demons are currently under cooldown. On the other hand, Hibiki decides to stop Yamato so that he can maintain the status quo and not change the world into a place where only the talented can make the decisions for everyone. However, he collapses because of his injuries and exhaustion before doing anything. As he gets up, he suddenly gets 2 notifications from the Deadface app, hinting that both Alker and Yamato are going to die. Hibiki gets up again, saying that he has to stop Yamato because this is his job. However, before he can do that, Sako says that she will go and help Yamato. She begins talking about how she had lost all hope after an injury cut short her military career. But then Yamato found her and gave her hope. Just as she summons her demon, everyone's phone gets her dead face warning, but Sako says she is ready to give up her life for Yamato. She flies away, asking Hibiki to take care of Yamato for her. On the other hand, Yamato and Alker are still fighting equally when suddenly, Yamato's Cerberus is available for action again. He summons the demon and commands it to attack Alker, but he easily blocks its attacks and then stabs it. With Cerberus gone, Alker is sure that Yamato doesn't have any other demon left to fight, but then he pulls out a phone with the demon summoning app that Alker made. Alker realizes that Yamato can summon something really powerful if he uses it, so he bombards him with attacks to stop him. He manages to stab Yamato's leg, but just as he is about to finish him off, Sako arrives there and shields Yamato with her body. He is aghast to see her die in front of him, and finally shows some emotion for a moment. But then he summons a powerful death god using the app, and Alker realizes that he is at a disadvantage now. The death god pummels Alker and seriously injures him, making him accept his defeat. As Yamato comes to finish him off, he asks Alker why did he follow him for so many years. Alker replies that he found him interesting and thought that he could lead the world to a better future, but now he can see that the future Yamato wants is dark and gloomy. He once again admits that he lost, but he still has to protect Hibiki from Yamato, so he decides to pull a kamikaze on him. He binds his feet with his iron tentacles and then reaches in front of him, tying them together. He remembers the time they spent together as friends as they begin floating upwards when suddenly, Hibiki comes there. He is too late to do anything, and Alker thanks him for being his friend before he takes Yamato high up and then self-destructs. Hibiki breaks down, thinking that both of them died, but it turns out Yamato survived the explosion. He comes to see Hibiki and tells him that he can't stop him. Suddenly, the world starts breaking apart, and a portal opens up in the sky. Yamato tells Hibiki that he will be the one who meets Polaris and remakes the world. He summons the death god again and lets it run berserk to stop Hibiki while he enters the teleportation terminal. Hibiki is at a serious disadvantage against the death god, but then Daichai and Nida come there to back him up. They hold down the death god using the giant fairy and Lug's power and tell Hibiki to rush to Yamato and stop him. Hibiki doesn't want to leave them alone to fight such a strong enemy, but they assure him that they have survived the 7 days of the trial and they are strong enough to win. With a heavy heart, Hibiki rides towards the teleportation terminal, but then suddenly, the void begins consuming his friends. He stops and thinks of helping them, but they tell him to go on ahead and make a better world in their place. Hibiki is heartbroken but still rushes ahead as his friends are completely erased out of existence. He reaches the teleportation terminal just as it is the only thing remaining in the world and activates it to reach the higher dimension where he finds Yamato. He tells him that now they are the only 2 people left in the whole world, and Yamato tells him to reduce the number to 1 because he is going to die soon. Hibiki swears that he will stop him at all costs, and then both of them summon their magic beasts to fight. Cerberus and Byakko charge at each other with full strength. While their masters debate about what is wrong and right, Cerberus pushes Byakko back and then breathes fire at him, but Hibiki summons the blue dragon to block the attack. Yamato praises Hibiki, saying that he is as strong as him now, and that was because he was born with talent. He then asks Hibiki to think about it carefully, because everyone who survived the trial had some level of talent, almost as if they were chosen by Polaris. However, he believes that Polaris is just a broken system, and its decisions can't be completely trusted. so he will use its power to reform the world. Hibiki admits that Yamato may be able to create a world where everyone is safe and prosperous, but he can't accept that because that violates the concept of free choice. He begins attacking Cerberus with lightning bolts, saying that he won't let Yamato force his ways upon the new world that he will create. He says that if Yamato takes away the choice from the people of his world, it won't mean anything even if the world is perfect. Yamato says that giving choice to humans was what has led them to this mess in the first place. But Hibiki is determined to stop him at all costs to honor the sacrifice made by his friends. Yamato says that this way of thinking is worthless, and those who are born with talent should take responsibility for the future even if they don't want it. And he will be the only one to shoulder the responsibility. Hibiki asks him why he didn't ask someone else for help, and Yamato coldly tells him that he doesn't need anyone's help. Hibiki pities him for being a lonely loser, but Yamato tells him that he doesn't have any need for friends. Suddenly, Hibiki digs up the past and asks why the hell did he come to help him when he was in danger along with Ronaldo. He asks Yamato if he doesn't need any friends. Why did the Dead Face app send his clip to him? Because it sends them only to friends. Yamato is caught off guard at this, and then suddenly, his injuries flare up, weakening him and Cerberus. Byako sees this chance to Pikachu the crap out of Cerberus, and both of them vanish. Hibiki then tries telling Yamato that they don't need to fight because they can be friends. He asks him to fix the world with him, but Yamato tells him that he can't stop now. He gets up and summons his two most powerful demons and tells Hibiki that he has not used the most powerful feature of the demon summoning app yet. He then uses the special feature to fuse the two demons into one gigantic demon that creates a field of lava just using its roar. Hibiki somehow dodges that, and then the furious demon attacks him again. Hibiki uses the blue dragon's shield to block it, but it shatters easily, leaving him open to being attacked by Yamato's demon. However, he survives the attack thanks to the giant fairy demon of Daichai. Both Hibiki and Yamato wonder what is happening when suddenly, Hibiki's app rings with notifications that his friends have lent him their demon. Hibiki begins crying as he thanks his friends and then summons all the demons at once and fuses them two at a time till he creates the ultimate demon, Lucifer, who is stronger than even Yamato's demon. Lucifer attacks Yamato's demon, who begins to feel even weaker after taking the damage. Hibiki and Yamato charge at each other while they send their demons to fight. The two demons end up hugging each other before destroying themselves completely, and Hibiki and Yamato are on their knees, hugging as well. Yamato has lost completely, and Hibiki tells him that he doesn't have to bear the burden of the entire world alone now. He says that if there were more people like him who seriously thought about improving the world, no one would have to die. He asks him to rest, and then Yamato kicks the bucket for good. Just then, Polaris descends from the sky to reward Hibiki, and he asks for a chance to fix the world. The next thing he knows, he is back on Earth, exactly 1 week before the end. He is mindlessly waiting for Daichai in the market, and he doesn't even realize what has happened. They enjoy their outing like normal, and Hibiki seems to have forgotten about the trials and his wish. Everything goes exactly like it did in the past, and Daichai even shows Hibiki the Dead Face app, but it has turned into a joke app now. After that, they go to the subway station, and Daichai falls silent on seeing Nida. He talks about how he wants to be friends with her, and then suddenly, Hibiki acts differently from the past and calls out to Nida. Though Daichai is flustered about it, Nida is cool with being friends with both of them. As they begin talking and growing friendly, Hibiki suddenly has tears flowing down his face. He doesn't understand why he is crying, but he is certain that these are tears of happiness. Just then, Daichai gets a notification from the Dead Face app, but it just shows a caricature of Hibiki getting ice-skied by truck cunt. Everyone laughs about the poor quality of the video when suddenly, the train arrives there. As the train stops safely in front of them, Hibiki's memories return. He realizes what is happening and immediately rushes to meet Yamato and help him to change the world before he takes any drastic measures. Meanwhile, all his friends who died in the trials are living their ordinary lives, having completely forgotten everything about the trials and destruction of the world. Hibiki reaches the parliamentary building soon, but the guards stop him from entering. He asks them to let him meet Yamato because he can't explain things to them without his help. Just then, Yamato's car comes there, and though he pretends that he doesn't know Hibiki, the scar on his face and his smug smile suggest otherwise. He drives away with that, and Hibiki breaks into tears, realizing that Yamato remembers everything, and together, they can save the world from destruction if another trial awaits them in the future.